Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my Q&A, finally. I know I asked you guys for questions back in April. We are now in July. I know, guys. One, I filmed it. I didn't like my answers. I feel like now that I'm in a better place, I can answer these more level-headed, if that makes sense. And also too, things have been extremely crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses like I always do. I'm like, oh guys, this. Not that it's even like an excuse. It's literally like my life has been kind of just roller coaster, but I am literally moving to San Diego within the next like 3 weeks. So it's gonna be wild. So I figured if I have any free time, let's film something. So today I'm gonna be filming the Q&A. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, I'm just gonna be looking over here because this is where I have all the questions. So if you see me going like this, I'm just reading them. But anyways, let's get started. So I have two that are pretty much like the same question. It's what's your zodiac sign, and then what's your astrology sign, and how do you feel about astrology? My zodiac astrology sign is Scorpio. I feel like in a lot of ways, all of these different signs can be very generalized. I feel like they could probably go for any sign. Like I could probably sound like a Cancer, and I could probably sound like a Taurus or whatever, right? But I also feel like some of the stuff about a Scorpio just like truly fits me. I am jealous, I am possessive, I love super hard, but I am also pretty secretive. And I don't know, it's not like it's a bad thing. Like it's not a bad thing to be like a little bit jealous. It's not a bad thing to be a little bit possessive. It's like, you know, there has to be a limit as to how far you go with these things. But I do feel like the traits of a Scorpio fit me better than any other sign. So I mean, I just go with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Scorpio. That makes sense. That's why I am the way I am. Duh. Also, I do look out for that. Not that it's like the determining factor of who I date, but I always look at my compatibility when it comes to the significant other that I'm gonna be dating or that I am dating. I always look at the signs just because you never know. You never know. Girl, please tell me how to grow a beauty makeup page. This shit is hard with a full-time job. Also, why are you literally perfect? Thank you so much, girl. I am not by any means, trust me. But honestly, I probably wouldn't be the best person to tell you how to grow a social media channel because I suck. Like, look at me. Here I am 10 years later off of YouTube, and I'm still sitting at 145,000, which probably 144,000 of them don't even watch me anymore. So I don't really know, but from what I've kind of picked up and what I'm learning as I go along is the best way to do it is to be super consistent. If you either make some kind of schedule for when you're gonna post, whether that be on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it is that you're trying to do, kind of make like a schedule, like every Wednesday I post this, or every other Wednesday I do this, or whatever the schedule may be. Kind of come up with a schedule so that you're consistent. Also, just make sure that you're being super real. Be yourself. There are so many people in the social media influencer world now. Like, things are so much different than they used to be back when I first started doing YouTube and social media and all that. So, you know, be yourself. Be whatever makes you different than everything else, right? Like, if that's who you are, then be it. Just be 100% you. Be 100% raw. And I promise you, like, there may be 100 people that don't like you, but there's gonna be 101 that love you. You know what I mean? So just don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to be yourself, and just have fun with it. Not a question, it's just really nice to see how happy you are. Thank you, girl. That's so nice. Do you love me? LOL. Pero really, what made you start YouTube? Girl, yes I do. Rosemary, you know I love you. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the story, and if you haven't and you're new here, the way that I started YouTube videos was I was actually bored one day in high school, and I was just like, I wonder if you can learn how to curl your hair. I don't know. I used to only watch YouTube for like stupid videos, okay? I used to post like me shaking my butt to milkshake with like a pillow in it, okay? So I was like, can you learn how to do like hair? So I looked it up. It's like how to curl hair, and I found FafiNetX3. I don't think she does videos anymore, but she used to, and she was pretty big at the time. But anyway, she was doing a video on how to curl her hair, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. So then I just started watching her, and I really liked her, and I kind of like went into the rabbit hole, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, there's videos on how to do makeup, and there's videos on how to do this and this and that. So I started watching it. I was getting really intrigued. I didn't really wear a lot of makeup at the time, but I was like trying to get into it because I kind of liked it. So she did a contest one day, and it was literally like recreate one of my looks, and like to the T, like same music, same pictures, everything, and then you'll win makeup or whatever. So I was like, sure, why not? Like, I don't know what like made me want to do it, but I don't know, I just went for it. So I went ahead and I filmed it. It was the worst video ever. It's still up on my channel if you want to check it out. It's the sweet kiwi inspired look. I posted that and I ended up winning first runner up. So I didn't win like first place, but I won first runner up. And because of that, she still sent me makeup, and she posted a video with like the winners, and she's like, Heather 123 is the runner up winner, blah blah blah, here's like what you're gonna win, whatever. So I was like, so cool, like I won free makeup. It was the first time I ever got like free stuff. I was like, this is so cool. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then people started asking me like, why don't you do YouTube videos? Are you doing makeup videos? Like, you know, whatever. They kept asking, and I was like, no, I don't do makeup videos. I don't really do makeup, whatever. And then I found out you can get paid for it, and I was like, girl, hold up. Yes, because my little, I think at this time, did I have a job yet? I'm pretty sure I did. At this time, I think I was making like $7 an hour or something like that. My first job was like $5.25, so this was like probably $6 or $7 an hour. And I was like, you can get paid? All right, we got a deal. So I started doing YouTube videos, and it actually blew up because of that video and because I posted the chola videos, what everybody calls it. It was just me and my friend Steph doing like a chola inspired makeup look, kind of joking around, and that's how it all happened. Probably gonna get a bunch of YouTube questions, but let's keep it fun. Ever got a Brazilian wax? I actually have never gotten a Brazilian, but I did get laser hair removal on my, you know. But you know what? I'm actually super disappointed because it didn't really work. Like, it worked for maybe the first session. Like, the first session I was like, Zion, this is smooth, this is nice. And then literally it just grows back now. So no, never gotten a Brazilian, but I have gotten laser. And if you guys want to hear my horror stories, I got you. How are you so goddamn gorgeous, sis? Thanks, sis. You so sweet, girl. How is your skin doing? My skin, which you can't really tell too much right now because I have makeup on, but I did break out right here and like right here and right there. Recently I kind of picked at it, which was very bad on my part, but it's fine. I'm trying to just work with my skin and try to get myself back in order. It's definitely not as bad as it was when I had my whole huge breakout with PCOS. So if you guys want to kind of see like what my skin's looking like now without makeup, I did post a how to maintain acne prone skin video a while back, maybe like a month ago, 2 months ago, I don't know. But I posted that video, so if you guys want to check it out, definitely take a look at that. Tips or advice for anyone struggling with depression, and have you ever struggled with it? I think it would probably be the biggest lie if anybody in this world said that they had never dealt with depression or anxiety. And if you haven't, like, oh my god, more power to you, that is amazing. As a child, I was always very, 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 very anxious and stressed out. Like, I don't know what it is, but really I have like really bad anxiety. Not as much anymore though. It's definitely calmed down a lot within the last year, probably even more so within like the last 6 to 7 months. But definitely as a kid I struggled really, really, really hard with depression. And just to like not make things really dark here, but there were 2 times where I had actually tried to kill myself. And you know, there's journals and all this stuff of what I went through as a kid and how I was feeling and how I didn't want to be on this earth anymore. But what I can really say is you have to really think about what is it that you want out of this life. Like, there's always going to be a reason why you're depressed or why you're anxious or why you feel like there's nothing left living for, right? There's always got to be some kind of underlying reason. So to me, it's like, why am I on this earth? And the biggest thing that comes to mind is because I want to make a change. I want to help people who have been in my shoes, or people who, you know, are struggling to be themselves and struggling to like find some kind of inner happiness. I want to be here to help those people come out of that darkness and see the light, because since I have found like the light in my life, which is just internal happiness, I can't tell you guys how crazy it feels to finally just be like happy. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm like, oh my god, everything's great, my life's perfect, I'm so happy, but I am saying that this place that I'm in now is probably the best I've ever felt in my entire 27 years of life. I just feel like I really had to take a step back and I had to think, what do I have to offer in this world? What do I want out of this world? What do I want for myself? And also, just because something sucks right now, just because you're living a literal hell, doesn't mean that it can't get better. I don't know, like, you take a chance and it's the best chance that you've ever taken and it changes your whole life. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many things that can happen, and if you don't even give yourself the opportunity to find that out, you're at a disservice to yourself. I feel like the best thing that I did was kind of just like learn how to retrain my thoughts and refocus the way I think into something a little bit more positive, no matter how hard it was. And I'm not saying that it was easy. I'm not like, life is gonna be great because I want to make a difference. Like, no, there was days where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I alive? Like, I don't even understand my purpose. You know what I mean? But you got to do that. You got to just kind of take time to take care of yourself. I listened to so many self-help and healing and inner happiness, inner peace podcasts when I was going through my breakup, because that was probably one of my lowest points within the last couple years. But I listened to a lot of those to really just help me get out of my head and get back into like, Heather, like, you're worth it. Like, you have something to offer this world. It's gonna be fine. So definitely look into some podcasts that can really help lift up your spirits, and spend time with the people that you love. Spend time with people that are gonna sit there and show you how important you are, and, you know, not just tell you like, hey, you're worth it, you're important, because you freaking are, but you really have to truly feel it with the people that mean the most to you. And you'll see that the more the people that you love show that to you, that you can start to feel that way about yourself. Because you got to think about yourself like how you would treat your best friend. Okay, treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. I think I heard that on a Christine Hassler podcast. I can't remember, but treat yourself like you would treat your best friend, or maybe it was another thing. Either way, I'm sure it's somewhere out there, you can Google it. But I would never like talk down on my best friend like she was a piece of crap. I would never tell my best friend she's not worth it and she's not gonna be able to do anything with her life. And I would never treat my best friend horribly, so why would I do that to myself? You know what I mean? Like, once you see it like that, I think it makes a little bit more sense, and it's a little bit easier to kind of come to terms with what are your inner demons that you're fighting. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okie dokie. Whew, that was a very long, drawn out answer, but if you guys kind of want another more in-depth video on how I dealt with my depression and my anxiety and things like that, if that's something that interests you, let me know down below and maybe I'll do a video on it. What is the last book that you read? Do you prefer a hardcover book or an audiobook? Honestly, it's been a really long time since I've actually read a book. I think the last book that I physically read was Christine Hassler's Expectation Hangover, and I didn't really read a whole bunch of it. I just started kind of reading it. I need to get back into reading that though, because even though I don't feel like I need it, I feel like it's good to learn the tools to like not putting such high expectations on things. You don't know, screw that. I do need it. I'm gonna read that, and that'll be the last book that I've read. I like Audible books. I like being like read to. I guess it's kind of like a podcast. Like, I literally will just sit there and listen to podcasts or like crime stories or whatever, just because I think they're super interesting. So I feel like if it's something that interests me, I could definitely do an audiobook. Do you think that you would ever have kids, and if so, how many? I definitely want kids one day. I want to get married and stuff first, so I don't really know when all this is going to happen. I used to put a timeline on my life, like 28 years old, I'm getting married, 29, no, I think I was getting married at 29, and then like having kids by 30 or something like that. I don't know, getting married at 28 and having kids by 30. I don't know, y'all. I'm about to be 28 this year, and I don't see marriage anywhere in like the near future, but I definitely would like to have some kids, and maybe just like 2. I wouldn't want an only child because I loved growing up with my siblings, but I don't think that I personally could handle more than 2, because your girl doesn't do very well with kids. I can only handle them for like a very short period of time, and then after that I'm like, where's your parent? But yeah, I definitely want kids. I think it's just gonna be about me like growing that sense of maturity when it comes to like children. What have you been doing since leaving YouTube the last time? By the way, I love you, girl. I love you too, thank you. I don't want to go too much into this because I want to do like a whole update video for you guys when I finally like move and all that, but I have been trying to get my life together. I recently moved out of my old house into my parents' house right now. I haven't lived with my mom since I was like 12. Well, I did like for like 2 seconds when I was in between houses one time, but like it's been a really long time since I've lived with my parents. So I moved in with my mom as I get ready to move out of state, because I'm going to be moving to California literally within like the next 3 weeks, you guys. It is insane. I can't believe how fast time goes. Like, and I can't believe that it took a decade for this to happen. Like, I have literally been saying since I was 17, I'm gonna move to California, and then never happened. But here we are. I'm going to move to California, you guys, and I'm so freaking excited to say that, and I honestly cannot wait. So yeah, just kind of getting my life in order, getting ready for my move, trying to spend quality time with like friends and family, get all that stuff in before I move, and really just trying to like focus on work. I feel like as an adult, your life gets so boring because it is literally so routine. It's like I go to sleep, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I try to do whatever I can to like spend quality time with people or do something that makes my time feel worth it. Recently I started studying again because I really want to work on getting some certs, and I keep telling myself that and I keep breaking that habit, so I need to get my ass back in gear and get some certs. But yeah, I've just been living life, honestly. Traveling a little bit, spending time with friends and family, and just kind of getting ready for the real world. You know what I mean? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, career-wise, love, YouTube, etc.? In 5 years, I'll be about 33 years old, almost 32 to 33 years old. I would hope that in my career, I'm doing much better at a much higher level than I am now. I don't know exactly what that is yet because I'm still trying to figure out like what is my niche in IT, but I hope that it's something good, and I hope that I'll be up there pretty high on the food chain. As far as love goes, you know, whatever happens, happens. That's kind of where my mind is at. I'm not trying to put pressure and stress on it because I just want to be happy and live in the present moment. So I guess we'll see what happens. YouTube. I hope that in 5 years I could still be doing YouTube and actually be doing much better at it, more consistent. I don't know though, like I really don't know. I still really like doing videos, and I still love, you know, kind of helping you guys out, giving you guys advice, telling you guys stories, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it turns out okay. My biggest thing that I've learned is that you have to really just live in the moment. You have to live in the right now. And it's important to have an idea for your future, but I feel like when you start future tripping, it's when you just get really anxious and overwhelmed because you're like, oh my God, like I should have been doing this by this age, and oh my God. And I feel like it just makes me a little bit crazy and cranky and not happy. So I'm like, chill, breathe, live in the moment, girl. How's my love life? It's good, it's good. I'm dating somebody who is actually very, very good to me. Probably hands down one of my favorite relationships, so that's cool. It's nice to find somebody who can easily reciprocate your feelings without having to force it. It's very organic, which is so nice. Like everything was just very organic. It wasn't even meant to happen, and then it did, and it was just nice, and so it's good. My love life is chill. I'm liking it. I'm thinking of majoring in IT. Do you have any tips? I would say definitely spend some time kind of dabbling into what you think you want, because once you really get into it, you kind of realize, do I want this? Do I not want this? Is this really what I see myself doing for the next 5, 10 plus years? So kind of dabble into a little bit of things, get certified, totally get certified, even if it's just the basics for right now, like the A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, like even if it's just the basics, do that first so you can at least have like a good understanding of IT, and then really just start kind of researching the different fields that you think you want to be in, because you never know until you get in it what you're really going to want to do. You can only shop at one clothing store for the rest of your life. What is it going to be? This is really hard because I shop at so many different places because I'm always looking for a deal. I'm like, where they got the cheapest shoes, where they got the cheapest clothes, like help a sister out. So I don't know. Damn. Maybe Q. I would maybe say Q because Q has like really cute stuff. It's cheap and they have cheap shoes, like cheap sandals, cheap heels. So I think I'd probably go with Q. What's one regret? I'm so sorry. What's one regret that you have stepping away from YouTube, or if you have any, thanks, I love you. Thanks, girl. I love you too. I guess my biggest regret stepping away from YouTube was just that I think had I not stopped YouTube, or had I not been so like inconsistent, I could have had a lot more financial freedom because I would have made more money, and I probably wouldn't have any of my credit card debt or my car debt. You know, I'd probably be able to help my family out a little bit more. And also, like, how cool would it be to have like my own makeup brand by now, or my own clothing brand, or whatever, you know what I mean? But I feel like life, you just gotta go with it. You just gotta take every punch as it comes. And, you know, I feel like I made the right steps. Even though it sucks, I got myself a master's, and that's something that I really, really wanted for my life. And I don't know, I guess it just worked out, you know? We'll see what happens. YouTube's always gonna be here. I feel like, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I don't know, knock on wood, I'm gonna watch this like in 30 years if it even still exists, and I'm gonna be like, ah, you thought, Heather. But I don't know. I just feel like even though I regret it, I don't, you know, it wouldn't even be a regret necessarily. I just kind of wish it could have been different. You know what I mean? Can you describe the transition of going back to dating a guy after being with a woman? I honestly don't feel like it's too much different. I only dated guys before I dated a woman, but I will say that the emotional connection is a little bit different. I feel like women can easily connect with women when it comes to certain things, and obviously just intimacy is a lot different, for me anyway, how it was. But I don't really think it was hard. I think it's just like, I don't really care if you're a man or a woman. Like, I don't care, as long as like you're a good person and you have a good heart and a good soul, and you know, you do good and you make me feel good. Cool, let's just go with that. Also, I've been dead ass watching your videos since I was like 13 and 14. I'm 24 now. Girl, thank you so much. That's so nice. Any tips on editing videos? It's hard to be consistent on my channel because I can never, or because it can take me forever. Honestly, I don't really have too many tips for editing. I would say if you're doing like a makeup look or something where you don't have to talk a lot, do a voiceover, because you can easily speed up stuff. You can cut out stuff that you don't need, and then you could just do a voiceover over it. If you're talking on the video, it's a lot harder to like cut out certain parts, because you could probably like not like the way you look in this one spot, and then you can't cut it because you're talking. You're doing this like huge long sentence. So if you are trying to do things like that, or even like outfit of the weeks or whatever it is, definitely throw a voiceover on there, because it's just easier to edit. But if you are the type of person like me who likes to talk so freaking much that a voiceover is probably not the best for you, I would say just try your hardest to keep things sweet and simple. Try not to go off on tangents, because that's how I am. Then it'll be much easier to edit. A good site to sell clothing besides Poshmark. I don't really use a lot of like sale sites. I honestly don't know. I probably wouldn't be the best person to tell you that one. Where are you relationship wise? I am currently in a relationship and doing good. How do you get your teeth to look so white? I actually whiten my teeth at least once a week, sometimes more, it just really depends. But I use the High Smile, and I also use the Bright On like whitener that came with my aligners. And I use usually some whitening toothpaste. I've been following you for years, and I wanted to ask, do you regret not filming as much before? I guess this kind of goes back into the same question I answered earlier. I definitely regret not being as consistent, but I don't really want to see it as a regret, just more like I wish I could have done things differently because of the perks that come with social media. Honestly, guys, like if everyone could do it, we'd all be millionaires, right? But it's not easy. So yeah, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. How is everything going with your PCOS? My PCOS, I feel, has calmed down a lot since the birth control and all of that. I actually have to go back and get a checkup because it's been about a year since I was diagnosed. It was actually a year last month. So I feel like I need to go get a checkup, just see how my ovaries are doing, see how my hormones are doing, and see if I've calmed down. I did notice when I stopped taking my birth control, because I had like a 2-week period where I ran out and didn't go get a refill, I started breaking out again. So I was like, shit, like I don't want to have to be on birth control forever just to like calm my hormones. So I'm definitely going to talk to the doctor about that the next time I go, and I can give you guys a full update. And maybe if you guys have some questions about PCOS, leave them down below. I've been trying to do a little bit of research myself, but yeah, we'll figure this out. Where did you get that Christmas sweater with your face on it? I actually don't know. That was Cody's sweater, and he got it online somewhere. It probably cost $1 billion, but somewhere online. Maybe just look up like sweaters that you can put your face on. You mentioned in one of your old videos that your first heartbreak was really sad. Why? I feel like my first heartbreak was really sad because, one, it was like my first relationship. It was the first time I was ever like, oh, I'm going to boyfriend. And you know, we all watch this crap on movies and love stories and yada yada. So I think it was just like, you know, the whole idea of having somebody that you felt like loved you and wanted to be with you, and then the person that I was actually dating cheated on me like a bunch of times and just didn't really treat me the best. Not that he was ever like physically abusive or anything like that, but just the emotional and mental toll it took on me was really, really hard. And I feel like that was the first time, not the first time in my life, but that was the first time that a guy that I had feelings for had ever made me feel like I wasn't worth it. And so I think that's what was really sad about it. I'm in a place now where I'm kind of like, that was nothing compared to like my last heartbreak, so it's like whatever, I was young. But you know, it's still important to like go back to those feelings and just like give yourself some compassion because you got through it, you know what I mean? Top 3 YouTubers. That's really hard because I watch so many different kinds of YouTubers now. It's not really makeup anymore. I watch a lot of Isabella Fiore for her like Mystery Mondays and all her crime and like serial killer stuff. Really have been getting into Bailey Sarian. I think that's how you say her name. She does the makeup mystery, no, murder mystery and makeup Monday. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but she does those, and it's pretty much the same concept, except she puts on makeup while she's telling you a story about a true crime or murder mystery, whatever. And probably, I don't know, I still watch a lot of my OGs. I don't really have like tops, but right now I'm really into the true crime stuff, so that's what I've been on. What do you think about Nipsey Hussle's death? I don't really have a lot to say on that. It's super sad. I feel like anybody who's getting murdered, especially somebody that seems so influential to the community, getting murdered, that's just sad and really shitty. And I don't think that anybody has any right to like take somebody's life, but you know, unfortunately life is really hard and it's not fair, and that sucks, you know. But I can't say that I listened to a lot of his music or followed a lot of like his story, but from what I've seen just from everybody else that I follow that follows him, they're still to this day posting stuff about him. So obviously he made a huge impact to many people, and I think that's great. If you can, you know, leave this world with some kind of legacy, that's awesome. Dude, those pics are so cute. How come you didn't post them on your Instagram? I'm trying my best to keep this relationship a little bit more private, and it's not that I don't want to like show Cody off and like, hey everybody, here's my boyfriend, but it's like, I know what I went through the last time I posted a lot about somebody, and when things didn't work out, it was just really hard to have to deal with so many people being like, where's so-and-so? What happened to so-and-so? Why'd you take all your pictures down, you know? So it's not that I want to not show them off, it's just I want to be a little bit more private. That's all. The chismosa in me wants to know about your ex. Sorry. Actually, I'm gonna stop this here. There are a lot of questions about my ex, so I'm just gonna kind of go through them with you guys really quick. It says, what happened to the girl you were dating? Sorry for being nosy. Why didn't your last relationship work out? There was a lot. I kind of just like skipped through them. What happened to you and Shannon after posting the picture of you guys? What happened with your last relationship? So there's a lot of questions that are pertaining to my last relationship, and you know, out of respect for myself and for the other person, I'm not really gonna say too much about it, but you know, a lot of stuff came to surface and I kind of realized my worth and what I deserved, and I realized that being in a toxic relationship was not what was best for me. I wasn't myself, I wasn't happy, and I was just continuously trying to make somebody else and somebody else's happiness more important than me and mine. I have been doing the best that I can to move forward with my life and no longer allow that toxicity to take over, and it was probably one of the hardest heartbreaks that I had. But I feel like this time around I've come out so much stronger than I have ever been, and I feel so much more at peace and like I can breathe than I've ever felt. So that's all I'm really gonna say about that. I don't really want to dig too much into it, but yeah. Your sister Brittany is so fucking cool. Did you learn to be cool from her? No, Britt, I didn't. After college, how did you find a job? Resources that you used, graduating with a degree in business management. After college, I actually had a job. Well, I got into my field because of my Nino. He owns his own IT business, and he had a client that needed like an a webmaster slash like in-house IT person. And that's kind of how I started getting into like the web design development part of it. But then I realized that I actually liked doing IT work, and I was like, huh. So I went out and I applied for an IT job, and I got a job working for a company that it only lasted like 4 months. It was like a 4-month contract. I didn't get hired on, but I networked really well there, and so my boss there actually introduced me to 2 other people at the company that I worked at, gained a lot more experience. That company got acquired by another company. I was there for a while, and then I quit about a year ago to go to the company I'm at now, where I just feel like it's a much better fit for me. But I would say definitely get to know people. People know people, and that can get you really far, you know what I mean? If you were to move out of Arizona, where would you move to? I would definitely move to San Diego, and I will be. Woo woo. What shower face products are you using right now? By the way, longtime fan, LOL, for real, love you, girl. Thank you. Like I said, if you guys check out my how to maintain acne prone skin video, I show you all of the products that I've currently been using on my face, but I have been using a mix between the Proactive skincare and the Image skincare lines because I really like them. How do you look so put together in the morning? Hashtag it's a struggle. Girl, same. If I stay at Cody's, it's only like 15 minutes from my job, so that's nice. If I stay here at home, it's over an hour in traffic, so I have to get up super early. So really, I just get up super early. Sometimes I don't even finish my makeup till I get to my job. So I don't know, you just gotta get up early. Even if you're tired, you just gotta do it so you can look decent. Otherwise, you're gonna look busted. At least I do. How do you keep your makeup to stay all day for work? I spray myself with a setting spray, and I use like a powder a little bit to set my concealer and foundation. Not too much, but just like a light powder, especially like under the eyes. I set that the most, and then like right here. But I guess just like a spray. I don't know. I'm not really outside or anything. I'm inside of a building most of the time unless I have to be at a client site. Kind of just sitting at a desk, so you don't feel like your makeup gets too bad. I do get pretty greasy on the nose, but I'll just blot myself throughout the day. How does your hair grow so long so fast? Dude, this has taken, what? I chopped it off 4 years ago? Yeah, I chopped it off 4 years ago, and this is where we're at. And this is actually after a recent cut. I got it cut and like layered recently, so now I have some layers. But really, I just drink lots of water, and I put heat on it, but I try to at least do like leave-in conditioners and like hair serums to help with like heat protectant. But other than that, I don't really put a lot of product in my hair, so I think that kind of helps. Although it is still a little bit crusty at the bottom. Like I have some split ends and some crustiness, but it's cool. All right, so the majority of the last set of questions is literally like, who's your new boo? Who's that guy you posted about? How did you and your man meet? Are you bi? Do you have a boyfriend? That's pretty much how the rest of them are. So I guess I can just tell you guys a little story of how we met. So 4 years ago, I started working for an IT company, the one after the 4-month contract. And I saw him there, and I was just like, wow, he's really cute and really smart. He was like a sysadmin or something like that. It was an IT company, so he was like higher up. He had his own little office, whatever. I was like, this guy is such a douchebag. Like, I just automatically judged him without knowing him. I was like, he just walks around with his nose up, like he's such a douchebag, whatever. But I just thought he was super cute, and I was too like nervous to talk to him. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to him, he's a douchebag. And that was just like my mentality, right? And then on his last day, they were transferring his like responsibilities to me. So they're like, you need to go sit down with Cody and like learn how to do his scrap, have him offload knowledge and whatever. I was like, cool. We sat down, we talked about dogs and music and stuff, which, hello, I love doggies, so whatever. It was cool. We talked, and I was like, wow, he's actually not a douchebag. He's super nice. But it was his last day, so I was like, never gonna talk to this guy, never gonna see him again. Oh well, he was cute. And that was pretty much it. That's how we met. And like, here we are, 4 years later. We reconnected sometime last year and just became friends, and it happened. That is pretty much all of the questions, which I guess is good because this video is going to be 1 billion years long. But I hope that it kind of gave you guys a little bit of insight into my life, what I've been up to, what's going on. I hope it answered your guys' questions, because y'all some curious cats, so that's cool. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me when you guys like my stuff. Thank you guys so much for taking time to spend with me today, watching me ramble on and on and on. It really does mean the world to me, and it feels good to be back making videos. This is nice. I haven't like sat down and filmed in a really long time. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.